Are you a lazy, out of shape hunter that can't seem to kill anything because you can't get far enough in the backcountry, but you don't want to invest in a gym membership to actually get in shape? We just may have the best answer for you possible. The Surron Light Bee X.
I couldn't come up with a better thing because I'm not Cam Hanes and I enjoy drinking a soda pop on the way out.
Yeah. So today we're gonna put these things through an actual hunting application. I'm gonna be wearing a fairly heavy pack.
I'm gonna be wearing just a backpack with binoculars.
Yeah, I'm gonna be storing the cold sodies in mine and the chips and Little Debbie snack cakes in mine. And we're gonna put these Surron Light Bees through a test and see how they do on charge, how they do on toughness, and overall how pleasurable they are to ride in a, you know, mountainous, steep, hunting-like situation.
Climbing hills, going over rocks, single track, like getting you into the actual backcountry, not just, you know, these things mainly I think have been sold, like especially on YouTube, as a city pavement pounder, skate park thing. Yeah. But that is not the intention we bought these for. We're gonna use these for hunting. We're gonna use them for some rugged stuff and truly test the durability. Yeah,
and see how they hold up. So we're gonna give you a review once we get done with this. But first we need to take them up, test them out. Obviously, this is gonna be a completely honest review. So those of you that are out there that are thinking about getting some sort of e-bike for a hunting application, this is the video for you. Let's get to it. Alrighty guys, so we are back testing yet again the Surron Light Bee. Light Bee X. Oh yeah. So this trail that we're on here, and depending on where you live it might be different, but this is pretty similar to a lot of the elk trails that will actually be on this fall. The trails that we used to access where we're hunting for elk this fall, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So let's get a little rocky. So like this is a perfect example where if there was access at the back of this trail, you're not going to be able to get to it unless you're on foot or on something like this, or horses, which we use a lot. But this is a lot smoother, a lot quieter. And some of the spots, we use horses a lot. The only problem with horses is obviously they have to have water, and it's really weird. There's quite a few hunting places that are really good out here that there's not water anywhere on the ridges that we're on. But I guess the caveat to that is there is water, but it's on private land, so we don't really get on there. Oh yeah, so far this thing is absolutely killing it. This is awesome. How you doing, Adge? Yeah?
That said this was a severe trail.
Severe trail?
Caution.
Sweet.
But pretty good so far. These things are so snappy, you just rip right up this. I mean,
yeah. Yep.
I would say no problem at all gaining elevation.
No. And I mean, we obviously made it here in what, a minute, 2 minutes?
So fast, yeah.
And if you were actually walking, not only would you be way more tired, but you'd be all the way back there.
Oh yeah, you'd be just barely hitting the hill like that.
Yep.
So.
Starting to get steeper. I don't know if the camera's showing it, but it does it no problem. I'm gonna flip this thing into eco mode just to see. Yeah, it's considerably less snappy, which on something like this for a new rider might be considerably easier for them to go. Oh, we got a little sand. Flipped her into sport again. So these things, the great thing about these things is they're light, and not only that, but they're way shorter to the ground than a normal dirt bike would be. So if you get to tipping on something this steep, oh, here we go, woohoo! On something this steep, well, it's not a problem because you have a lot less ground to fall to. What I mean by that is it's way easier to put your foot down and catch the weight. Oh yeah. So we're into some rocks. This is very, very similar to what we would do hunting. The other thing for that intrigues me about these is when you have something like a Ranger or anything with an engine, I guess. When it comes to covering ground, you know, in Colorado in September, most of the places that we hunt are still really, really hot until the sun goes down. Most of the time, I guess that is. Sometimes it's snowing, but the great thing about this is, you know, you could bugle on a ridge and hear one, you know, a ridge over, and be able to hop on this thing and chase that bugle and stand a chance at it killing it before it got dark. So this obviously is something that this bike is really something that's gonna change the way that we look at hunting, in the fact of just what's possible and what your technique really is. But so far, I'm pleasantly surprised. I bet you if we were huffing and puffing going up the hill, just to put in reference, you know, I'd say that we probably, to get to the point we're at right now, you're talking probably, oh gosh, I don't even know. Realistically, unless you were straight running, maybe 25 minutes, 30 minutes maybe, if you're really getting after it. So these things are, they allow you to cover so much more ground. And riding like this, I really don't think is going to take too much charge. The backpack, for those of you that are worried about how it does with the backpack, obviously I don't have a full elk quarter in this thing, but it's handling it just fine. Can't really tell a difference, to be honest. Oh, ouch. That was my foot. That hurt. The brakes are going downhill. We just went down a little hill. And these brakes are kind of junk to be going down. Like, I mean, you'd be fine if you're careful, but I think that's probably the first thing to upgrade, from my experience at least. And there again, it's just my opinion. Ooh, beautiful view. Should we jump off that cliff there and see how the suspension handles? Yeah, she'll take it. Yeah, sagebrush is soft. This seat is, for whatever reason, just doesn't fit me right. So I got a seat coming, or it's already here. Need to put it on. It's from Luna Cycles. It's their float seat. That's the only one that I saw. I didn't really do much research, but so hopefully it's more couch-like and not so hard on the bum on long rocky rides when you got weight on your back. But other than that, these things are doing really, really good. Pleasantly surprised. The other thing, I will say this, that is nice about these, I just thought about this for a hunting application. When you're going in these rocks and stuff, and we've taken them down some rough trails as well, your feet, when you're going super slow, your feet, sometimes just like I'm doing now where I'm stepping over these rocks, we rode them when it was real muddy, and so it was real slick, so I was putting my feet out And the thing that I like about the Surron that I actually hated in the beginning till I got a little more used to it is your brakes are both on your hand. So your left hand is your back brake, and then your right hand is your front brake. And so you're able to kind of keep yourself afloat in really rocky, slick situations and still have, you know, braking power.
So one thing I learned on this thing so far is it's got regenerative braking on it. So if you're going downhill, if you go into sport mode, it holds back a little bit better. If you are regular eco mode, it free spools a little faster. So I'm using that as a braking thing so I don't have to be on my brake so much going downhill in some of these places. Something I learned, I guess we can adjust it and make it more or less, but definitely something handy if you ride a Surron.
Oh. Holy cow! Just getting after her. So we're gonna get back to the truck. We are going to hopefully not wreck on the way, and then we're going to kind of give our review and our overall thoughts on if you as a hunter should buy one of these.
So Ash, what did you think of the overall hunting experience on the Surrons?
Honestly, I would say we get a really good quick test for you guys. I'm very impressed with how it handled it. The trail was a lot rockier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It handled the rocks really good. The suspension was really good. Like we did 5 miles, used 10% of battery. I'd say super efficient up and down and all around. It handled the rocks better than I thought. The one thing that I haven't felt other places that I felt today, we have some like harder dirt and ruts, and it felt a little like darty in those ruts. Maybe
it's not near as planned as a dirt bike.
No,
for sure.
That lightness of it definitely, I think, affected it.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think for what we bought them for and what we intend to do with them, very impressed, and I think they're going to handle it well. We were knocking pegs on rocks the whole way. I'd say that's one knock, is you've nailed your foot once hard. I've nailed my foot once hard now on them, and they're just low to the ground, and you kick stuff up with that front tire, and you got to watch the toes. Got to wear something good down there.
Yeah, the other thing that I was thinking about coming down, when you're hunting and you're looking for a rig to get you in the backcountry, you almost have to compare something like this to another vehicle that would do the same thing.
Yep.
And to me, I mean, you'd almost compare it to like something like a Ranger or a truck or something like that. And the thing is, what I like about them is they are not the price of a Ranger.
Yes.
So we just had a buddy, Uncle Skeeter. He just picked up one. He was looking on Facebook. They're out there for $2,000.
Yeah.
I think he paid a little bit more for his, but just depending on condition of it. So what I'm trying to say is this isn't a break the bank thing for most hunters, because this sport is expensive now. And I think that it's completely worth it if you have access, kind of like we do. Yeah. Obviously, if you have access to private land or something like that, it's a little different. But when it comes to single track Colorado hunting, especially archery hunting, with it being quiet, I think it's going to be a huge game changer. And like I was talking on the GoPro there, I think it's going to kind of change the way that we tactically hunt, because we're going to be able to jump ridges and not spook everything. Like with the Razor, when I come to a ridge, I feel like I have to sit there for at least 20 to 30 minutes before I bugle to even get an honest shot at one calling back. And sometimes that's probably not even enough. So with this, it's
and then
instant.
You're on the chase.
Yeah.
Like pulling up there seems like it spooks them. They're on edge then. They're aware of something in the area.
Right.
So you're then chasing. Where this, I feel like you come in a little more stealth. And then honestly, what I like is like you come up on a ridge, you call, you don't hear anything, you don't see anything. You can zip to the next ridge really fast. It's not like you're hiking or in a Razor where you got to go all the way around or things like that. Like as long as there's a single track and access, off you go.
Yeah, when it comes to off-road, I'd say by no means is it comparable to like a high-end dirt bike, but that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for a dirt bike. We're not looking to go to the track with these. We're looking to hunt, and there's some options when it comes to quietkat, Rambo. Those are all bikes with pedals. It's not my style. I think it's more planted and easier to maneuver when your feet aren't moving. That's just me. I think these are going to be a great addition. Hopefully they hold up to the test of time. I was really worried about the charge, because when I first started like riding it around the house, they say, I think Surron says 60 miles.
Something like
I wasn't
that,
even getting close to that.
Yeah.
But I think with most hunting access that at least I'm trying to go to, you're talking like a 4 to 10 mile thing. And if you're easy on it and you're on eco, you know, we took
Very
10%
safe.
today. Yeah, you should be completely safe. And like AJ said, the great thing about this is thinking about, and this could be different in other states, but in Colorado, 90% of the stuff that we're hunting, it's up one way, which means it's down the other way. So if we use 50% charge going up, we're still completely fine, because we're not going to use 50% charge coming down, if that makes any sense.
Good little safety net there.
Yeah.
And from my experience, is like I used 60% going up, and I mean it was a pretty steep climb way up, and then coming back I used like 5%. Like it was like barely anything. I was gone for like 4 hours, and I mean it was like way up, and then coming back, I mean I could have kept going and going. I was testing it out, feeling it out, but could have kept going easily. So
I love the idea of being fresh when you're going to chase elk. So many times, it's like I was telling AJ the other day, it's not a conscious thing, I don't think, but when you're really, you know, you're on your 4th day of doing 18 miles and you hear a bugle over the next ridge, sometimes your mind, you know, if sitting in the comfort of your home, you're like, oh, I'd chase that bugle. But when you get out there, sometimes you're like, you know, you make excuses. Well, it's getting a little dark. Well, you know, that's probably not a big bull, whatever it is. I think with these, you're fresh to the hunt, and that's going to pay dividends. So that's kind of where I'm at with them.
Once again, we're not Cam Haines.
No.
We ain't going next ridge, boys.
No. I'd like to race
hunt
Cam
this
Haines.
ridge. Yeah. We'll beat
Us
him.
on the Surron.
We'll beat him.
Yeah.
So
No.
if you like this video, you want to see more stuff like this, we're going to be doing more content like this. We're going to be using these things hunting. Once again, we're just taking you along with the things that we do this summer. But like, subscribe, interact with us on social media. All that stuff will be linked in the bottom of the video there. And yeah, till next time.
Till next time, let her eat. Buy a Surron.
Plus for me. A plus for me. Dink.